There's only one good reason why you're watching this video, and that's because you're a beginner and you're struggling to learn how to board slide. It's not that hard, dude. It really isn't, and I'm gonna show you why it's not hard today and how to go about learning it so you don't freak yourself out and end up sacking like this. Nobody wants to sack like that. Everybody thinks it's gonna happen to them, but really, I promise you it's not. Unless it does, then I'm sorry. I guess you can't trust me anymore. But for the most part, this is just a fear up in our head, and I'm gonna teach you how to overcome that fear and learn how to board slide in one day. If you follow my tips, you'll do it in one day, I promise. So let's go ahead and break this down. The first thing you're gonna want to learn how to board slide is wax. Now preferably you're using your own rail so you can wax it as much as you want, but a lot of people have a fear of slipping out on a board slide. So one suggestion I would have is just wax the crap out of it so you know it's slippery as hell, and then just get on there and lean forward and you'll slide and you'll be fine. Another secret that nobody tells you about is waxing the bottom of your board. Say you're at the skate park and you want to learn how to board slide on this rail, but you don't want to wax it up because there's a ton of other people skating it and you don't want to be that guy, then just wax up the bottom of your board. Pretty much does the same thing, but you're not ruining the rail for everybody else that's trying to skate it. When you're first learning board slides, I would suggest finding a rail that comes up to about the middle of your shins. If it's too low, it's gonna make it really hard. If it's too high, it's gonna make it hard. Around the middle of your shins is a good height where you can jump on and slide really nice. So that's what I would suggest learning board slides on. So now that we've got our rail and we got our wax on our board, we're ready to start trying some board slides. Before you start to try board slides, there's a few key practice maneuvers or practice techniques that you can do to help you get the feeling of the board slide without ever risking your balls. So I don't really have a name for this exercise, but I'm gonna call it the hopscotch drill. Basically what you do is you come up to the rail as if you were gonna board slide it, right? And all you do is you jump across like you're gonna do your board slide, and then you jump back. And what this does is it just teaches you to get comfortable jumping with the rail right there. And then this is the key. Board slides are all in your shoulders. So what you wanna do is you wanna stand like this with your hips going along with the rail and your shoulders going across the rail like that. Hips point forward, shoulders point sideways. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna jump onto the rail and your hips are gonna go across and your shoulders go forward. So they're gonna switch positions. You jump and you switch. Like that. If you can just practice that, that will teach you what you've got to do with a board slide. What this is teaching you to do is to come up to the rail with your shoulders open. So that way when you pop, the board will naturally follow and land in a perfect board slide. And then closing your shoulders like this teaches you that as you slide, your shoulders close so that when you come off, your body will naturally follow you into the landing. If you can do this, then you can board slide, I guarantee you. One thing that may help you is practicing this on a curb before you take it to a rail. So first we're gonna go ahead and practice this on the curb without the board, and then we'll use the board. So again, your hips start with the rail, shoulders are open, and then you jump into the board slide and you close your shoulders like this. So you just need to practice going. You're probably gonna feel really stupid doing this, so maybe do it by yourself, not at the skate park, or maybe go to the skate park where nobody's watching, because I guarantee you, you look dumb. All right, so once we've done it without the board, we're gonna get our board and try it with it. So here's the key. Shoulders open, and then you see my shoulders are closed, and then just like that. Honestly, this is harder than a rail. If you can do this, I'm telling you, you have it. You have it in you. Shoulders open, shoulders closed, and then come out. Quick side note, one thing that you should definitely not do when you're learning board slides is try to learn them on a ledge. This is practically a completely different trick, so I would definitely discourage you from trying to learn this trick on a ledge because it doesn't really give you any idea of how the trick actually works on a rail. So just make life easier on yourself and learn this trick on a rail to begin with. Now when you're trying your very first board slide, a friendly piece of advice that I would give you is just go a little bit faster than you're comfortable with. You don't have to go super fast, but I promise you, if you go slow, you're gonna regret it. The key to skateboarding is learning to use the speed that you have, and if you don't really give yourself that much speed to begin with, you've already lost before it's begun, and you might stick, slip, all sorts of weird things can happen. But if you keep a good pace, just a little bit faster than you're comfortable with, that will give you the extra oomph that you need to easily learn the trick. A couple problems that you might run into with this trick are 1, sticking, or 2, slipping out. There's really one simple solution for both of these problems. jumps. And that's to do a squatting motion when you board slide, especially when you're starting out. If you're sticking on your board slides, it probably means that the board is getting too far underneath or behind your body, causing it to stick to the rail. And if the board is slipping out, it probably means the board is too far in front of your body. So the solution to this is to really emphasize a squat. What that does is it helps put your feet in front of your body, but still allows you to lean forward. So it gives you the right kind of leverage to keep the board moving smoothly forward without you actually slipping out or sticking. Another thing that might occur is your board might be sliding the rail really close to your truck on either side. And this probably means that you're coming at the rail at too much of an angle and you really want to come straight alongside it. In my head, I try and aim for where I'm gonna land. So before I go up to the rail, I'm looking at where I'm gonna land at the end of the rail, and I try and ride towards that point before I pop onto the board slide. And that will help keep your momentum going in the direction that you actually need it to go so that you can land the trick and roll away. Once you've learned board slides to regular, it's really easy to learn them to fakie. Rather than opening your shoulders as you're approaching the board slide, all you do is you leave your shoulders closed and pop into the board slide from there. What that does is that allows your shoulders to gain a little bit of momentum as you turn into the board slide, and then it keeps your momentum turning all the way around until you land fakie and roll away. The key to this trick really is all in the shoulders, and it's the exact same thing in reverse with front board slides. Once you understand the steps of a backside board slide, you'll be able to pick it apart and apply those steps in reverse to learn front board slide, and it'll come to you like that. Once you learn how to do board slides, they're a super fun trick and you can get really creative with them, especially if you have a rail like I do. So to illustrate this, I'm basically gonna take my rail and put it around different places around the parking lot and try to come up with as many different ways to do a board slide as I can. So let's try and get creative with this. So I know all those board slides, when I edit it down, it's not gonna be very long, but I've been trying to do all these board slides. It's been a while, especially that last one, calling it quits. Some of you know I have a cracked or bruised rib, and it's just not worth it, me getting broke off doing that stupid thing. I hope you learned something from this video. The number one thing I just want you to take away is that board slides are all in your shoulders. What your shoulders do, your feet are gonna follow. So just set up like a regular ollie, ride towards the rail with your shoulders open, your chest open to it, and your hips closed. Jump up and then switch. Your hips will open and your shoulders will close, and then when you get to the end of the rail, you'll naturally just come out and roll away. I hope that makes sense for you guys. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments below. I respond to pretty much every comment. So if you're having a particular problem, let me know. If you want me to make a part 2 with some of the issues that you're dealing with, I'm open to doing that. So make every day Friday, and I will catch you in the next video.